Hey family, how are you guys doing? Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to the Gear Cave. Got something different for you today. It does have 6 strings on it, but you don't need to know any finger positions to chord this thing. Let's go check out some gear. So my buddy John is learning to play guitar in his later years, and he's got quite a collection going. And he just picked this up not too long ago and dropped this off for a fresh set of strings and to get the intonation dialed in. And this is what he dropped off to me. Check this out. I've never seen one of these in real life. So this is a lap steel, and it's called a Bat King. I have no idea if these are good, but he didn't pay a lot of money for it. But this thing is really nice. It's not heavy, but it's not a cheap feeling instrument either. It's got the 6 tuners, kind of like a classical guitar, open gear style. There is kind of a fretboard on there, and the positions on them are numbered, which is kind of cool. But the frets are actually just there as a guide as far as position goes. There's no fretwork to be done on this. It's kind of set up like a little telly. I like that. Volume, tone, 1 pickup, kind of slanted, and 6 saddle bridge. I don't know if you can get some that are string through the body, but this one's top load. He wants it tuned to open E. So I thought I'd just plug it in and just see what it does. He gave me this. You play it with this thing. It's just a slide because your finger goes on the grooved side and just kind of slides on the strings or whatever. And he gave me a set of lap steel strings. So for this, I just plugged into my Quilter Super Block, and I'm actually going through an amp cab. I don't know if I need a pick, play it like a telly, but we'll see. So this is all right. So clearly this is not tuned. Sounds like an E chord. He brought me a pedal. It's called Steel Slinger. I'm going to click that on, see what it sounds like. That's pretty cool. Lap steel should probably be on my lap. Alright, let's change some strings on this thing. So as far as I can tell, it's just like a guitar. The first string is the smallest, the 6th string is the biggest. Just looking at this setup, right now you have to turn clockwise to tighten the string, and you have to turn counterclockwise to loosen it, which to me feels kind of like the opposite. I feel like you'd want to turn counterclockwise to tighten the string, just like on a guitar. And then you'd want to turn counterclockwise to loosen it. So just like a 6 on the side tuner, they would all turn in the same direction. But I know these are opposite. But because they're opposite, and the gearing is on the opposite side, I think that makes sense that they would all turn the same way. Anyway, I don't think it's really going to make a difference, but that's how I'm going to do it. Oh, these are really loose. All right, got all these strings off. Snip them right here because we're not going to reuse them. Should probably be using a little credit card, but just so I don't scratch the finish. I've mentioned that in videos before where the top loading strings, but the top loading holes are high enough that I can clear the guitar's body because I can grab the ball end before it kind of starts to move. So if this was an electric guitar, the first thing I'd do, I would check everything to make sure, you know, all the components are nice and snug. That's an interesting nut. It's like a big piece of some kind of composite. The grooves, the notches look pretty rough. So because the action isn't too important, I'm just gonna lightly pass my files in there to make sure nothing's binding. These tuners, they have a lot of play. That's just how the tuner is mounted into the brackets here. These on this side are a little better. I'm thinking maybe I could shoot a little bit of synthetic grease here. I'll work that grease in there. Yep, I would definitely change the tuners on this thing if this were mine. It's not like you're bending or fretting, just sliding. So maybe it's okay. I want to polish the guitar before I put the strings on, but I also want to add a small little notch to the top of these saddles. These strings go from 13 to 56. I happen to have all the files I need. So I have the 13, 17, 24, 32, 42, and 56. So the cool thing about these Music Nomad files is you just pop the end off and your actual file comes out. So, you know, you can use the handle if you need, or just this. But for this, like, kind of small work, it's great. So I'm not creating an intonation point. I'm just creating a groove around the profile of the saddle so the string stays in position. When I first got it, one of these strings was like way on one side and the spacing was off. The grooves are added to these saddles. I don't know if you can even see that. It's not like I cut a great big ditch in there. It's just a small groove so that the string has somewhere to sit and not wander side to side. Now I'm going to take those same files. I'm just going to file the nut slots up here. So I'm not even pushing down on these files. I'm just kind of letting the file, you know, wander through the groove in the nut. And I want to make sure that I'm not feeling anything rough or catching. And the cool thing about these files, so the filing surface, not only is it a diamond file, but it's rounded. It's shaped like the string. It's not like a knife edge or a square file. It's actually making a groove that's rounded like the string. I'll show you a little trick. Pay attention. Sometimes you want to clean the bridge under your saddles, and you know, you try to shove a rag in there, and it's a pain in the ass because these little screws are catching in the threads of the rag you're trying to use. So all you got to do is take a little, you know, piece of cardboard or whatever, and, you know, jam it under there. You might have to lift a few of these saddles, so make sure you get that under there. And then take your rag and slide it under the piece of cardboard, and it'll slide right under there. And then you can, you know, go to town, do your thing. And when you come out, it's not a big deal. All right, new strings time. So these have to go under and through the top. So you just kink your string like this. Same for a guitar. And they should pop right out there. See it coming through? And there we go. There's one. And you really don't have to do this. But sometimes with top loads, I take a little Allen key and I run it through the ball ends so that all the ball ends are oriented the same, you know? So, I don't know, it just kind of looks a little better, I guess. Just to get a controlled amount of wraps, I'm going to go 2 pegs over, and I'll cut my string there. And that should give me 3 to 3.5 wraps of the peg. And should be good. So, let's try this. Just want to make sure it's got to turn the right way. Yeah, I want it this way. Yeah, I want to tighten it this way. So on this string, I put the wraps towards the tuning peg. On the second string, I'm going to put the wraps to come towards the center of the headstock. So again, I'm going to go like 2 past. And that should be good. So doing that gives this a straighter pass through to the tuner. And now for the third one, I don't have 3 tuners to measure, but 3 fingers is about as wide as the span of 2 tuners. So this is the one I want. So I'm going to go 3 fingers over, which brings me to about here. And that's where I'll cut it. It's not a classical guitar. There's no luthier's knot. You don't have to do anything weird. Just put the string in, kink it, keep your wraps close to each other, and you're good. Just to get my bearings, I queued up a YouTube video, open E lap steel tuning, and sure enough, it was out there. So the guy just plucked his strings, and I just kind of, tuned them up to the ear, and it sounds like this. That's pretty nice. So, all right, so now we're going to check intonation and make sure we're tuned. Okay, so I'm a little flat. Okay, now 12th fret. Harmonic. Wow, it's bang on. It's perfect. Jeepers, that's right on too. That one's bang on too. It's good. There's nothing wrong with that. As far as string height goes, action isn't important, but this bar is not curved, it's straight, it's flat across. So I'm assuming that when you put this on the strings, you want all the strings to touch this bar. Otherwise, you're going to have to bend it to make some contact. If I just put this on the strings and then pluck them, see? So this one could come up. So just making the same noise. So that one's good. See, that one's not touching because it's ringing true even with the... So this one has to come up. There we go. Yeah, so I'm just going to make sure that's level. There. They're all touching about the same. So now, there, it should be good. I don't know. I'm assuming that's how. I mean, you know, there's not a whole lot to this, so how complicated can it be? There it is. See, there's what the ball ends look like when you put an Alder wrench through them, just to keep them all in the same orientation. And the little grooves I put in the saddle, those strings are notched in there perfectly. For those of you who are worried that I changed the intonation point, that's not an issue. And that's what the strings look like. And it feels very natural to me to turn counterclockwise on all 6 of these to tighten them. Feels like if I was tuning like a Telecaster with 6 on a side. That's how I would go. So, plug it in one more time. I'm going to stop before the lap steel community comes after me. You guys take care, God bless, and I'll see you in the next one.